So some people have asked questions about our chickens here and how we have them set up. This is a 10 by 10 dog run that we were able to purchase at a good price online. I think it even came from Wayfair. I'm not sure, but I'll put a link up with this that you can see it. The modification to make this work was that we, instead of sending this over, we stopped the cyclone or chain link fence here, and then wrapped it around to the other side, and I'll go over there. We'll take a look at that. It has a nice door on it, not a full size. It's just that door is just wide enough to get our dolly in so that Diane can get the food in there. But the latch it's a pull-up latch. We do put a carabiner on it overnight. Got a couple of boards in there for them to roost on. They're just stuck through the chain link fence and zip ties hold them on. So on this side, the fence, the chain link just goes around the fence here, and then we terminated it on the pole here somewhere. The pole there, terminated it on the pole here, and then purchased an extra. You can even see that the price tag's still on there. Purchased an extra piece from Lowe's, and then ran that one here. And I used an all thread here so that I could get them to go through that eye that you see, the flat one that we purchased that you see over here would not fit through the eye, and I needed a good way to secure it to the building. And then the other thing that we did is we got the regular fencing that has the big squares on the top here, and then they progressively get thinner all the way down until they're pretty thin at the bottom. That worked out real well when the chickens were young. And then you'll also see here on the ground we've got the same wire, comes all the way out the full thickness, so that if a predator comes to dig, they dig here. They're not smart enough to dig back here where we don't have the wire. They dig right here, and they can't get through the wire, so they give up. And that goes all the way around the coop. Okay, so sticking with just the dog run here, we did the same thing here. We purchased an extra piece of chain link termination, and then over here we've got the all thread again to go through the eyes. Does a little bit of a Watusi there to get around the egg box. And then all right, the coop itself, I'll go in to take a look at the coop. Excuse me, ladies. All right, so I don't have my tape measure with me, so shame on me for that, but I believe everything is pretty much 4 by 8, and so 1, 2, originally 3, went all the way down. I've got outriggers out there now, and 4, so 4 2x4s. And then everything else is framed up with 2x4s. I did cut the corners of my 2x4s out an inch so that I could put this paneling up and screw it into something, and it's flush here. So all of that is framed. We do have cameras. We've got a camera on this side that views the nest box on this side, and we've got a camera on this side that views the other so they crisscross pretty good there. And this is just a shelf bracket turned upside down, using that to hold this roosting bar, and then just across the bottom, and makes a nice coop. And we just got the plastic corrugated on the top. One note is that in this area here, let's see if we can see it. You can see where the corrugated roofing material doesn't reach all the way to the run area, and so we had, I'll go back outside now, excuse me ladies, they would love to come out with me right now. Okay, so this area right here, this is metal now. This is the plastic corrugated roof material. This is I just wasn't worried about this area, and then we had a bobcat jump up on the roof and go right down into that gap and took out 4 of our hens. So now this metal goes all the way across and completely secures that gap in the coop. So we have egg boxes on both sides. They work out real nice, except this one unfortunately didn't work well. Windows all the way around, pretty simple, just a hinge. The piece that was cut out is used for the outside of the window. Those are those outriggers that I talked about that allowed me to put this oversized best nest box in. And then everything is, this is your hardware cloth, and of course it's framed. I didn't point that out, but it's framed on the inside so that you can maybe see that long one there, so that the hardware cloth does not pull out. And then we've got this is a hose, using the piece of hose for conduit, brings the camera wire out. So we do have a camera also on the run, which is how we were able to find out that it was a bobcat that got in and got to our hens before. The coop itself is leveled on these steps. You can see a concrete step underneath that 4x4, so it's not in the ground. We could move it if we needed to. In fact, we have a video on the channel where we moved this chicken coop. Actually started in life as a goat barn. We can close the door as well. It has a door on it. Come here. So leave that open. We could close it. Of course, even one of the comments on when the bobcat got in, they said, "Why didn't you have the coop door closed?" Well, we just don't ever close it, pretty much. The hens can go in and out whenever they want. And hello. And that's just the way we roll. So our automatic feeding system is a 30-gallon plastic barrel. I have fitted 4 3-inch elbows, PVC elbows. They've been modified. I've cut the elbows so that as soon as you make this turn here, the feed is there and it doesn't come out. But you have to cut about 2 inches off that elbow. And then let's see what we look like in here. So we're way above the elbows, and of course no food is coming out. So that works very well. And it's on cinder blocks just to keep it up out of the ground, and puts it at the hens level as well. Has to be lower when they're chicks. I also mounted this basket up here It holds, these are test stoppers for testing for leaks for plumbing, and we put them inside here to prevent the hens from getting to their food all night, as well as keeping critters out. The fencing is not real good at keeping mice and rats and the like out, so we try to remove whatever temptations we can to keep the other critters out. Then in the water system, these cups we get online, they are gravity or weight fed, so that when they're empty, water flows back into it. I'm going to hold this one until it overflows just for fun. So the water's still coming in, and now we're overflowing, which wouldn't happen naturally because the weight of the water turns the valve off. Isn't that right, honey? Okay, and so then this is just another 30-gallon barrel that we fill up with the water. If I was going to do this again, I would have put a union here where I could take it apart and clean it out a little bit easier. And we'll check their water right now since I haven't done that. All right, so Diane's got a little rake here. Move it out of the way. It's a special little rake for raking inside the coop itself. Oh yeah, somebody's filled up recently, so we're looking good there. The duct tape on here, if you look, you can see underneath that there's actually, we duct taped cord on there. That's a heating element cord. Let's see if I can get a picture of it over here. There you go. So in the wintertime, 40 degrees, that heating element comes on, and it is wrapped all the way to the cups as well. So that whole bar that holds those cups all the way across is also heated with that heating element wire. It works most of the time. When we dropped below 0 this last February, it did not work. The freeze was more than the heating element could keep up with. All right, the best nest box is now complete. Come in and sealed it nicely with this expanding insulation. For the rain, this piece of rubber silicone down nice and snug. That silicone, I'm sorry, the piece of rubber, you can buy that by the foot. It's shower pan rubber, and I use it for all sorts of things. And we'll see if we have anything. Got 3 eggs, that's good. And then on this side we've installed this is a medium sized, and 1 egg there, that's nice. And same with it. These are these ultimately will be installed, and they'll hold down my door. A little bit rudimentary, but it works great. So we'll just keep it open for ventilation right now. So that's what the medium looks like, and then the small is basically 1 box for a hen to lay eggs in. We'll go inside and take a last look at the finished product as well. All right, on the inside here, this has been finished out. So once there was a gap here where we had to push the wall out to provide the extra room needed for the inside of the nest box, so that this would be able to operate up and down, which it does now. And then I think in retrospect, after having installed these curtains, according to the instructions with this metal tab that's back behind here, I think that the instructions, I think the engineers and the people who created the instructions have a disconnect, because after looking at it, this makes much more sense. Any condensation or moisture coming down from the top of this would now go into the gutter, and not, of course, because water has that property that causes it to hold on to things. Here it'll just come in and stay on the curtains, dripping into the nest box itself. So by having this gutter on here, it prevents that from happening. So, and this one's been installed, it's completely working, and you saw the eggs back there. Hello, honey. Hate to bother the hens while they're laying, but it is kind of nice. We've got cameras, and on most days the camera can see back and just enough. You can see those eggs back there in the back here even. There we go. So that is completely installed and finished, as much as it's going to be on both sides. And we're very happy with the nest boxes, the best nest boxes. They've been working very, very well. So this is the camera view. We have 8 cameras. This is just a 4 camera view. The top left is the chicken run. To the right of that is the left side of the coop, and then the right side of the coop, and then our swimming pool. We actually have 8 cameras in this system. They're wireless. Got them off of Amazon. HISEEU is the brand name. Chickens coming in from our tunnel. Used Venetian blind slats, and a few of them broke, so came in and supplemented with PVC external framing. And we'll move this chicken tunnel. It's 100 feet long, 2 pieces of 50 foot long by 3 feet wide chicken wire. So the slats are 3 feet long, and then that's I think it's a 15-inch base, and we move it back and forth. So we're going to move it over and mow that strip there. But they enjoy getting out of the coop and running around through the tunnel. If we could let them just roam the yard all the time, we would, but we have hawks and other critters that might make their life a little difficult. And then the foundation of the chicken tunnel, just making sure I'm not keeping secrets, that's a 50-foot long hose times 2, so 1 on each side. And these hoses were basically taken out of operation. They had splits in them, or little hairpin holes, or the coupling had it started to deteriorate or something, so they were going to be thrown away anyway. And so the base of the chicken wire is just tie wrapped onto the hose, and then to move it, we just grab the end of the hose and pull it where we want it to go, and it goes. And then for the tunnel too, just built this transition box so that they can, I was at one time going to put a wire on the bottom so that this could go either direction, flip it over on this side, and they could come out this side and go the other direction, or this way. So this is a second door. We've got the main door here, This door opens in, this door opens out. Has a gap in the bottom there for the hens to come in and out there, and that way they stay caged, but at the same time they can free roam through their tunnel. All right, that's the chicken coop.